what is in my mind. That is very important. When the opposition also have a problem that we as young leaders are not complying with, it is always important for the young leaders in these associations and political parties to come out and speak the voice of the people or what is right for everybody. I want to say that young leadership is also a serious challenge because we are meant, and there is always something called sugarcoating when it comes to accommodation of young people in this country. It is extremely hard for young people to get into political positions. It is also extremely hard for young people to get in the corporate level of leadership in this country. And it is a simple thing of maintenance of status quo that people look of ways to have their lineage and their fellow selves getting into those positions. But I want to say it is all not lost, because the few of us that get into these leadership positions, we have to stand strong and stand against all the chaos and atrocities that are meant to derail young people to get into positions, so that we can actually make a better community and a better society. And I want to touch something that I know Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka is dealing with in the bipartisan talks that involves our electoral system. I have heard many people say that our electoral system is actually not right, but it is the high time we got it right. And Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, as the co-chair of the bipartisan talks, we are hoping you bring something that is going to solve that thing once and for all, so that young people can get chances to get into leadership positions. There is always deliberate efforts to suppress the leadership of young people. And it has come even into the university level. And one of the things that we have taken as young parliamentarians is to recorrect that. We need to go back to the voices of our university students having something to speak. The leadership of this time does not really reflect what we used to see before. Myself, I started my leadership in the University of Nairobi, in the leadership of SONU. Many of my members started there. But right now, we have a system that is using some sort of delegates, and we no longer get the voice of the university student, who should actually have a voice for the benefit of this country. If you speak to Honorable Raila Odinga, Honorable Orengo, and the rest, they will tell you how important that voice was when there was Moi of this world. There is also something I want to touch on, which is the mismanagement of institutions touching with our young people. And I'm happy that the government has recognized that, and there are deliberate efforts to correct the mismanagement of institutions touching with our young people. NYS, one of the institutions that used to touch lives in the 90s, these days is a shell. But we need to actually empower these institutions so that our young people can be able to do better. I was very happy to listen to PS Mangeny, whose department actually is at the heart of the young people. I wish you well. And all those deliberate efforts you guys are making, we have to hold you into account. I have one proposal for you. Hustler Fund is a good thing, but we cannot remain at 500 shillings or 1,000 because it will not actually help a lot. We need to get into million. We need to get into 500,000 so that our young people can be deliberately helped to grow economically. And I believe that is something that you have to consider and you are considering. I want to say that when it comes to opportunities, we need to empower our youth wings in the political parties. Because political parties in Kenya, and I hope I don't get in trouble because of this, they are owned by individuals, and they are not owned by the young people. And that means that for you to get anywhere, you have got to be in the right books with the bosses who own these political parties. That is actually a retrogressive thing that we should actually correct and move forward from there. Because while we are talking of improvement of our economy, our democracy, and we are very loud saying about democracy when it comes to general elections, but nominations and running of political parties is the biggest scandal we have in this country. We have to correct that. Let the democracy of our country start at the political party level so that we can improve the democracy of our country. On economy, yesterday, before I came for the State of the Nation, I was attending a farmers' conference. There are some farmers that I have helped to get water project, and I had called them for a meeting. I want to tell you that that meeting was attended by very many people, but all of them were above 60 years of age. Not even one single young person. That means our youths are not participating in agriculture. Our youths don't have an opportunity to participate in agriculture. And it should shock many that 70% of our population is young people, but they are not being productive in production of our food. And I want to say that, and I have advised the government many times, that we have to have means of getting our young people to farms. We cannot all be hustlers lying around. We cannot all go to border sector. We have to have our youths being empowered and being given opportunity to get into farming. When I was sharing lunch with the Honorable Raila and Odinga and the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, we had a very interesting conversation of ensuring that we get our people to consolidate land so that that land can be productive enough and our young people can be used in the production, and then many people can be given the affordable housing that we are giving, that is actually a government plan, and be able to grow our economy together. And I think that is something that I propose that can be done. In conclusion, I want to say that African leadership has always been born from struggle. In 1963, when we were getting our independence, the struggle was about freedom. And we had Mau Mau and everybody else who fought for that. In the 90s, where we had birth to Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, Honorable Raila Odinga, and many others, we were struggling for democracy, and we struggled. Now, we have another struggle to have our economic freedom. As young politicians and young leaders, we are taking that as a fight that we have to win. And thank you very much, everybody. We are going to continue engaging in this conversation. I want to say that, yes, this conversation has been organized by KES, but this is a conversation that should be organized by the